A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I was sent to bring balance to the Force. But then, a guy I work for told me my secret wife was gonna die. I lost my cool, and things kind of went downhill after that. Hello, Internet. I'm Jeff W. Ross, also known as The Man Strikes Again. In case you didn't figure out from that snazzy intergalactic intro, we are here at Regal Edwards Theaters in Camarillo, California for the Star Wars Episode 3 20th anniversary re-watch. I was 25 years old when Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith originally came out in May of 2005. I went to see it with my girlfriend at the time, my little brother, my friend Dwayne D.W. Watkins, Black Nerd, shout out to him. He and I are still friends. And I think if you would have asked me back then what I'd be doing at 45, 20 years later, I would probably have assumed there'd be a wife and some kids involved. Currently that is not the situation. However, that's neither here nor there. What really matters is that Star Wars as a franchise is still going strong, stronger than a Disney merger and a lot of suspect content. So here we are to celebrate masterful storytelling. I'm now inside the theater, in case you couldn't tell. Big, beautiful lobby. No Star Wars poster anywhere in sight. So I don't feel very good about that. I got to talk to somebody about that. They do have a poster for Sinners with Michael B. Jordan, fine actor from the Creed trilogy. Also played the villain in Black Panther. But no Star Wars, so I'm sad about that. Good thing I wore this shirt, huh? Anyway, I'm gonna hit this popcorn and this soda. You gotta have salt and sugar is what you gotta have, right? Am I right? You know I'm right. Okay, I got my popcorn, I got my soda. I'm about to go into theater number 6. Obviously, I'm not gonna bootleg the movie on my phone, which you can just see right now, by the way, if you wanted to. Just turn this off and watch it, so we'll talk afterward. So, as of this screening that I just attended just now, I have a completely new interpretation of this movie that I've never had before tonight, which is really saying something, because I've seen it a lot of times. I don't even know how many times, but a lot of times. And this is that interpretation. Anakin's journey to the dark side actually starts when Padme tells him that she's pregnant. And I never noticed it before, but he's really not that thrilled to hear it. But he tries to hide it from her and act like he's happy, right? That's where and when it begins. And from that point on, his problem is fear and control. He's afraid of consequence and loss, and he does what he can to try and control it, which we know ultimately doesn't work. He gets caught up between two sides. He isn't sure what to do. He doesn't know who he can trust. The Jedi wanted to do something wrong. The Emperor wants him to do something wrong. Palpatine, who becomes the Emperor. And he's not sure what to do. He's conflicted. And he sees the future. He sees her die. And he says that he saw his mom die as well, right? And then it just begins a downward spiral, and he's conflicted. And the moment when he cuts Mace Windu's arm off, that's an action. That's when he chooses the dark side. That's when he says, I'm going with Palpatine. But he's not even really sure of that at that point. He's not 100% sold. Even though he starts doing horrible right? Even though he kills children, And he goes back and forth with it from then on. And when he goes to Mustafar and slaughters the Newt Gunray and the Viceroy, he has the Sith eyes, right? And in that moment, he's overcome with evil. But then, after that, when he's there by himself, he cries. And he's like, what did I just do? And he's not sure of it. He's never that sure of it, even though he slowly gets more and more engulfed with power. Like, the more he feels the power, the more intoxicating it is. And, you know, props to Hayden Christensen, because I'm telling you, I don't think I ever noticed this before, but I noticed it tonight. You know? His descent is not a straight downhill slope throughout the movie. And I don't think he really becomes the Darth Vader that we all know and love until the very, very end, when he gets plugged into the suit and he finds out his wife has died. And think about this. Obi-Wan watched his kids be born and watched his wife die. But he didn't know what happened to Anakin. Anyway, he thought Anakin was dead, probably. And in that moment, when he is told, your wife is dead, that is when he truly becomes cold and detached. The absolute power-driven, no F's given Vader that we know from the original trilogy that chokes up without thinking twice about it. That guy isn't there until the last moments of Vader in Episode 3. And I've never had this interpretation before tonight. I have found more depth and value in Hayden Christensen's performance. George Lucas does not tell actors how to play characters. He casts the person who he thinks just naturally looks and feels right. And then after that, it's just up to them to come up with an interpretation. So anyway, yeah. This was fantastic. This movie's 20 years old. It holds up. Like, it really holds up for a 20-year-old movie, especially because the effects in it were like top-notch, cutting-edge effects at the time. And they still look great. They don't look bad 20 years later, even though technology and effects technology has come a long way since then. George Lucas, he was 100 out of 100. And you could still see it 20 years later. So there's the Edward sign behind me back there, if you can see it. And there's the theater. So if you're still here, thanks for listening to this long nerd rant on the Star Wars. By the way, I love all the Star Wars, okay? As of right now, Andor Season 2 just started coming out. I haven't seen Skeleton Crew, but I love everything else. I love the prequels. I love the sequels. Let it be known, bitches. Let it be known. And I'm glad I did this. You know, I've never seen Empire or Jedi on the big screen. I was a little kid when those came out. And yeah, so I'm Jeff W. Roche. I call myself the Man Strikes Again. I'm a nerd. I make YouTube videos. And I love Star Wars. And I made this video to tell you all about it. So thanks for paying attention.